Piyawadee Sevikul, but you can call me Pearl. And I am many things, but I am not an object. I think the first ever time I ever personally realized that there was something truly wrong with the way society viewed women was when I was about 11 years old. I had just finished my first performance with my dance group, and we were having a conversation about how we did. We were talking about what we did that we could have improved on, what we did well in, and we were complimenting one another. It was an innocent conversation, until a guy in a younger grade made a comment about how some of our chests were too big to be dancing. At first everyone laughed. Even I did. Even I contributed to the joke. But then I went home that day, with that comment still imprinted in my mind, and I couldn't help but question myself. Why did I laugh? Did I do something wrong by laughing? Was that all what people were paying attention to the whole entire performance? Am I overreacting? Sexual objectification comes in many forms. It can range from verbal harassment to acts of physical violence to rape or even murder. You may think that a sexist joke about a woman is completely unrelated to an act of sexual violence, but that is where you are wrong. Because both these problems have the same root cause, and that is the presence of sexual objectification. According to the United Nations, 1 in 10 women were subjected to sexual and/or physical violence by an intimate partner in the last year. That is 12.5% of women worldwide. 12.5%. Yes, that may seem like a small percentage, but the percentage should be close to zero, if not already. Think about the most important female in your life, and imagine her being the unlucky 1 in 10. Sexual objectification can happen to anyone, anywhere. Your age, your height, what you are wearing, where you are, all those variables do not matter. Women are still being treated as sexual objects and are seen as nothing more. And the fact that society views them as such gives them an excuse to sexualize and degrade us. I can guarantee you, at least one of the females you know in your life have been on the receiving end of sexual objectification. Your mother, your sister, your best friend, even your teacher, because like I said before, it can happen to anyone, anywhere, which is exactly why it is so harmful. Maybe not always physically, but emotionally and mentally. When we are constantly being put in a box and are being told that we are nothing more than just our bodies, when we tie our whole entire existence into what we look like on the outside and how we present ourselves, eventually we will start to believe what society is telling us. We will start to believe that we are nothing more than just our bodies. If we look into environments like schools, you can see acts of gender inequality and sexual objectification. There have been times in which we have been told off or sent to the office because we were wearing shirts, skirts, or pants that were too short, or too revealing, or too provoking. Meanwhile, guys can walk around shirtless with no consequences at all. Are our shoulder blades too much to handle? Are they too much of a distraction to you? What we wear does not define who we are. It does not determine what happens to us. The amount of times I heard the two words cover up in my 15 years of living is absolutely outrageous. School is supposed to be a place where I feel safe, where we feel safe, where we feel comfortable enough in our own bodies to express ourselves. You can't tell us what to wear if you won't even try to teach society not to sexualize us. We have been taught to immediately blame ourselves when these things happen to us, as if it is our fault that we are being objectified in such ways, when in reality, that is far from the truth. When generations after generations are brought up believing that it is always the victim's fault and never the wrongdoers, it is hard to grow out of that mindset, which is exactly why changes should be implemented starting in places like schools. However, these restrictions are also transferred and projected into the workplace, where wearing skirts is deemed appropriate and polite, while wearing pants can raise eyebrows and be seen as challenging authority. When in reality, what we wear is not a representation of our abilities, but rather an expression of ourselves. When emphasis is put on what we wear versus what we achieve, it sends an unhealthy message that we will never achieve anything if we are not at least what society deems as pretty. It is also disheartening to see how this issue has spread onto social media. I could be scrolling through TikTok or any social media platform, and I could come across a post of a girl just living her life, having fun, doing something as simple as dancing. And then I would open the comments to the most disgusting and vile comments I have ever seen in my whole entire life. There are many more comments like these. Thousands, millions spread across every social media platform. Some could be less harmful, some could be more harmful, but the true intention behind all of these comments are the same, and that is to treat women as nothing more than just sexual beings. It is not only the sexualizing comments, but also the victim-blaming ones. There are cases in which a woman has felt brave enough to come out with her own stories of objectification, harassment, or assault, and has been bombarded with accusatory comments back. What were you wearing? What did you say to him? Did you say something to provoke him? Why did you say no? Or comments that just blatantly call her a liar. If every time we open our mouths to share our opinions and express our emotions and share our experiences, we are always being shut down, eventually we will never speak freely again, and society would truly be moving backwards. The same situation can also happen with men. It would be completely unfair of me to say that only women can experience this. There are cases in which male victims have come out with their own stories of harassment or assault and have not been taken seriously solely because they were men. He should be thankful. I bet he liked it. He's lying. This can't happen to guys. Attention seeker. These comments are just as harmful as those directed towards women. Along with all of this, social media can also create an unhealthy and harmful body image for people everywhere. Seeing models with small waists and thigh gaps with the most perfect teeth and the most luscious hair constantly plastered all over our feed every single day will eventually make us look at our own bodies and our own faces and compare ourselves to what we see elsewhere. This issue is not only affecting teens such as myself or adults, but children ranging from the young age of 6. Research conducted by the Dove Self-Esteem Project found that 1/3 of all 6-year-old girls in Japan say that they experience low body confidence, and that 81% of 10-year-old girls in the US say that they are afraid of being fat. Isn't it so disappointing to see how distasteful society has become? These kids are 6 years old. They shouldn't be worried about how much they weigh or how pretty they are to society. These kids are the future of the world. And if they are already experiencing these feelings at such a young age, what are we really teaching them? By remaining silent and oblivious to the issue at hand, you become part of the problem. However, you can choose to be part of the solution. The first step would be to educate yourself. Educate yourself on what is wrong and what is right, and you can even pass on your knowledge. Then, the next step would be to be an advocate. If your friend said something that you knew was wrong, tell them. If your friend said something that hurt you or offended you in any way, you should be able to share your concerns with them. However, if you ever feel as if you cannot say something to stand up for yourself or others because you know that you will be shut down, that is when you know you are part of a toxic environment and that you should remove yourself immediately. Even online, you can help. You can help by reposting posts or websites online that are educational in this area. You can also donate to charities or sign petitions that are helping to reduce sexual objectification in real life and online. You could change the world. with just 2 clicks of the button. I hope the next time you hear a sexist joke being made or see someone objectifying someone else, you do something about it. Because you never truly know the effect and scar that one seemingly harmless petty joke leaves on a person. Thank you very much for listening. Have an amazing day.